Morning, folks. How are we doing today? A little bit late starting, but that's okay. So you just need a dressing gown band or a resistance band, one or the other. So dressing gown band or a resistance band. Sorry I was late. I thought I had a bit more time than I actually did. But we're bang on time to get started. So make sure you have either the resistance band or the dressing gown band ready. We're going to use it for almost all of them. So we've got just the plank that doesn't have the band in. So upper body today, a nice session. And we're good to go. Right. So just come to standing, nice and light on the toes, nice steady jog. So just warm up through cardio, through the lungs, through the heart. Just to start with. So that's it. Chest is up nice and high. Arms are swinging a little bit. Light on the toes and soft through the knees. Awesome. Start to bring those heels up a bit. So the legs are waking up. Just land nice and light on toes. Heels are coming to the bum. Let's bring the arms in a bit more and shift the focus forward and knees. So knees are coming up. Low to start with. And then drive it up. That's it. So let's just take it into a shallow squat. Feet wide, hips back, chest up. Let's get a little lower. Try and break. We'll get to 90-90 through the hips and the knees. Nice. All right, let's just swing out. Open out through the arms, through the chest. That's it. So keep just shifting side to side through the legs. Open out, up and away with the arms. So splitting the arms. That's it. Okay, take it down into that squat. Walk it forward, reach and reach. Push it back into the squat and stand up. Squat down, walk, reach and reach. So feel that weight transition from the legs through to the arms, and then on either side, push back into the legs. Just the last one. Stay down. Tuck the elbow in, hands come under the shoulders, a nice shallow tricep press. Just a couple. So chest to elbow height, elbows grazing the ribs. Last one. Come back to standing, nice and steady when you're ready. Okay, so to start with, just quickly set my timer up. We're doing the overhead pull down with the band. So if you've been doing this a while, you will know this one. So band goes wide, dressing gown band, take it outside the shoulders so we can drive up. Resistance band, put your hands in and take it as wide as is comfortable, and again, just to drive up. So you need a relatively loose one because you're working a smaller muscle group, so you need to go quite wide. So our lower body isn't effectively doing anything right now. So a nice bend through the hips, bend through the knees, feet hip width apart, and brace that core. We're going to drive up. So with the dressing gown band, hands are outside shoulder width, and we drive up. So we drive down behind the head and drive up. Down behind the head. Squeeze the shoulder blades. Down behind the head. Tuck that tailbone, so don't push your hips out. Tuck the tailbone behind the head. With the band, hands are in, thumbs are out. Turn them facing forward. It's going to be a smaller distance apart, and we just drive up and down behind the head. So same, down behind the head. All right, so set position, feet wide, hips, tailbone tucked under, hands nice and wide. So 3, 2, 1, let's go. So start low and drive up, and then behind the head. So tuck that tailbone, brace through the core, and just drive up and down. Make sure with the dressing gown band that you're pulling, it's got a nice strong tension through the band. Shoulder blades are back and down. 15 seconds. That's it. Keep that drive. Keep that tension. 3, 2, and 1. Release it there. Just shake off. So let's reset that position. I'll alternate between band and dressing gown band. So hands facing forward, bend through the knees, hips tucked, and drive behind. The head is nice and neutral. You tend to find with the band that you will get smaller at the top. Try and resist that and keep it wide the whole time. So you can see my hands, my thumb is behind, and my hands, like the palm of my hands, where the knuckles are, that's where the band sits. Keep that going, 15 seconds. Roll it out if you need to. Make sure those shoulders are dropped. 3, 2, and 1. Let's release it there. So we know what we're doing if we have the band or if we have the dressing gown band. So choose your option. You might only have the option of one thing available. So nice and wide hands for both. Drive it down behind the head. Watch the back. So we're not arching, we're tucking that tailbone. That just aligns the spine. So the aim is to squeeze the shoulder blades together. So you come down and squeeze. Down and squeeze. Tuck the tailbone. It's relatively easy to tuck the tailbone by squeezing the glutes. If you're struggling to keep it tucked. 5 seconds left. 3, 2, and 1. Release it there. Shake it off. My shoulders have been a bit dodgy recently. Having to learn the new attack release to go back to the gyms. All right, hands in or hands wide. Feet wide, and let's drive down. So try and resist that pull. The whole point of resistance bands is to resist the pull to make it back to its original length. So resist, take the hands wide, and drive down. Back behind the head. Head nice and neutral. This is the last round, 15 seconds. Shoulder blades down for both. Shake it out if you need to. Last 5 seconds. 3, 2, and 1. Release it there. Let's just shake it out. Open out wide if you need to. All right, grab a drink and let's move on. So we're going into a row. So you need to watch the positioning of my legs and my hips. So feet are stacked underneath the hips, so a nice neutral stance. So straight leg, make sure they're bent. So you bend a little bit further, so just nice and loose, bend a little further. Push the hips back and keep the back nice and neutral. So you're in a kind of lightning bolt position. So let's reset that. So feet underneath the hips, bend through the knees and push the hips back. So you're not tilting from the hips, your hips are pushed back, which helps your back into that nice long flat back position. The band is wide again, as wide as the shoulders, and we drive through to the belly button. Elbows come back through to the belly button. So we keep that zigzag stance and drive back. The band is exactly the same, just this time your thumbs are tucked in and we drive it back. Nice and wide. All right. Set position, feet under hips, bend through the knees, push the hips back and back nice and flat. 3, 2, 1, let's go. So drive it back. So the arms are relatively easy, nice and tight band. We just bend it like we're doing with the push-ups, elbows raise the ribs and break the back line. Brace the core to keep the back nice and neutral and make sure we have a nice low stance through the knees. 10 seconds left. 3, 2, and 1. Just come on up. So we're working to again draw the shoulder blades back together and squeeze through that upper back. All right, you can have your hands in if you want. Reset, feet under, bend through the knees, push the hips back, tuck the tailbone. Let's drive in. So you have the tension through the band. Shoulders are down. So shoulders aren't up to the ears, drop them down, and we bend through. Band to belly button. Tuck the tailbone. So I don't want to see any pointing your bum out. Just make sure it's tucked, nice and under. That's to neutralize the hips and neutralize the spine. Keep the tension in the band. Last 10 seconds. 3, 2, and 1. Release it there. If you feel anything in the lower back, make sure we brace that core. So belly button to the spine, tension through the sides. Feet under hips, bend through the knees, push the hips back, and let's drive. Elbows back. Drive the band into the belly button. Squeeze those shoulder blades together. That's it. So when you get tired, you tend to come up a bit and you might end up kind of just wafting around. Just reset yourself. The stronger the position of the body, the more work and focus can go through that upper back. 2, and 1. Release it there. Just shake it off. Roll through the shoulders. Hands in, either thumbs or palms, same as we did before. Feet in the hips, bend through the knees, push the hips back. And let's go. So just keep that going. So that position of when we push the hips back, you've bent through the knees, that pushing the hips back, that's what puts our back in alignment for this exercise. So if you just tilted, you might go too far, or you might be in more of a deadlift position. So bend through the knees, push the hips back. and that neutralizes that spine. So keep driving through. Make sure the elbows are all the way back. Last 10 seconds. 3, 2, and 1. Release it there. Let's just take a big wide circle backwards. Loosen off through that upper back and forwards. Shake it out. So next, we're into that squat position. So feet outside hip width. Band, same as before with the overhead press, band is the same width apart. We squat down and press up. Squat down and press up. So the band comes in front of the body this time. Hips come back, chest stays up, and we drive up. So same with the other band, nice and wide, and drive up, and drive up. So it's a nice full body compound movement, working through that whole back section there. So feet outside hips, ready to go into that nice deep squat, and then ready to drive up and through. So 3, 2, 1, let's go. So squat down, drive up. So make sure the band is coming in front of the face this time. Should almost be grazing the nose. Make sure the band is tight. And you really pull down. It's hard to pull down when you aren't physically pulling anything that's held from the top. But make sure you pull and feel it down the sides. So activate the lats. 5 seconds to go. And release it there. Walk it out, roll through the shoulders. Set position, feet outside hips, hands nice and wide. Let's squat. Pull down. So last time, when we did the upper body section, we worked on pushing up. So that was activating through the shoulders and activating through the upper back. So the traps. This time, you've driven up, but you're pulling down. Drive up nice and loose and pull down. Make sure that band, whether it's resistance or dressing gown, make sure it's nice and tight. 10 seconds. Pull down and wide, guys. Last one, release it there. Awesome work. One more round, 2 more rounds. For me, one more on either band and resistance. Roll it out. You're going to start to feel tense, so just loosen off. Feet hip width apart, squat down, rise and then pull. So rise and then pull. So your elbows are out and down, and you're driving those elbows down as you're pulling the band apart. Keep it going. 15 seconds to go. Three, 2, and 1. Release it there. Just going to open a window. All right, last round. Feet into hips. Band nice and tight. Drive up nice and easy and pull down. So feel those elbows make that arch, make that like a half circle round to the side. Drive it down. Really pull for the last round. 15 seconds left. Make sure those knees are still pointing out the way. Don't forget the squat technique. 3, 2, and 1. Release it there. Whew. So we're coming down to the floor. So just enjoy the rest. Come on down when you're ready and have a drink. All right. Let's just shake it off. So we're coming down to the plank. I'm fairly sure everyone's done this one before. So it's the low plank, down on our elbows, elbows under shoulders, up on the toes, hips down nice and low. So we brace the core, shoulders are away from the ears, and you can be down on the knees. If you're down on the knees, you may need to shift the weight forward a little bit. So set position, elbows under shoulders, brace that core nice and tight, feel it through the glutes, shoulders and upper back, and we're up on our toes to start. So 3, 2, 1, let's go. So we just hold nice and steady. Our head, our eyesight, is pretty much looking at our fingers. So you can see the tips of my fingers. That's where our eyesight needs to be. Nice neutral spine, elbows under shoulders, hips nice and low on our toes. I can feel shaking already. 45 seconds is a long time, so drop down to the knees if you need to, and just hold it there for the last 5 seconds. 3, 2, and 1. Push it back. Shake it out, roll it out. Set position, elbows and shoulders. Up on the toes, eyesight nice and neutral. So keep that going. So eyesight needs to be nice and neutral, looking at the tips of the fingers to make sure our spine is in alignment. If you look down, you immediately put tension on the spine, and you don't need the tension there. Elbows are under shoulders to make sure the upper body is supported and nice and stable. So you activate in the back, activate in the chest, and our glutes are activated to keep those hips up nice and high. So you've got 10 seconds left. 3, 2, 1, and release. All right, so we know the technical reasons why things need to be activated and the areas need to be in that set position. It's time, let's focus on keeping the core activated. So elbows under shoulders, up on the toes. So let's think about the core. Bring the belly button to the spine and feel like you're pushing out to the sides to get this side, get the obliques working. So bring the belly button in and push out to the side. So it's almost like you're creating a nice box filled with tension to really work the core. 15 seconds left. If we're down on our knees, everything is exactly the same. Hips are up, elbows under shoulders, eyesight above the fingers. 3, 2, 1, release it there. You got one more round to go. Elbows under shoulders, hips nice and low, brace through the core. If you're on your toes, you can come up just for a few seconds. So that's 10 seconds in. See if you can stay for 10 seconds. 3, 2, that's your 10 seconds. So if you need to, come down onto your knees and finish off the last 20 seconds. Keep it going. Wherever we're at, you got 15 seconds to go. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Push it back. Just loosen it off. Shake it out. We've got one more set to do. Still down on the floor. This one is a little bit different. So on Facebook, I did put that there's going to be a turtle, which is that pull back when you're lying down. I've forgot to change it, and it's going to be the Superman where you just raise the arms up. So we're down, lying down completely. We're ignoring the legs. We don't move the legs. Sometimes when we do a turtle, we raise the legs up as well. Don't even think about the legs. So we've got our bands. Just need to move the timer. We've got our bands. They are nice and tight, stretched across. Arms are flat on the floor and head is neutral. So head needs to be looking straight down. Start with the elbows and the forearms on the floor. Get that tension ready, and we just drive up. Drive up. When I say drive up, the chest will come up a little bit, but I mean through the shoulders. So drive up through the shoulders. Hold the tension nice and tight through the band. Same positioning for the resistance band. Hands in, thumbs at the back. Pull it as tight as you're comfortable with, and drive up. All right. So that's set position, elbows and forearms on the floor, head neutral. You can look at the band if you really want to, but try and keep the head down. 3, 2, 1, let's go. So it's about 30 centimeters off the floor, if you can. If you can't, then as high as you can go, even if it's an inch. The legs may raise a little bit, but we're not focusing on that. We're focusing on getting the upper body, the shoulders, and the traps working. 10 seconds to go. Make sure there's tension in that band. 3, 2, and 1. Pull it back. Come down. If you need to, if you can feel it through the back, just go into child's pose, have a little wiggle, and then come back down and round. All right. Elbows and forearms on the floor, head neutral. Let's rise up. So I want you to feel it through the top of the shoulder and through the shoulder blade area as well. Now you may feel it through the lower back. That's just from the arching. So you are working the lower back as well. Just over 5 seconds to go. 2 and 1. Push it back. Make a little arch and sink down to child's pose. Come back up, make a little arch. So we're pulling the shoulder blades away and straight back down. Hands in, arms wide, and drive up. That's it. So let's think, when we rise up, that we're raising through the front by squeezing the back. So we raise up through the chest by squeezing the back and squeezing the tops of those shoulders. 15 seconds to go. Three, 2, and 1. Feels a little bit awkward, but it is working the muscles that we're aiming for. So if you want to do that arch, push the shoulder blades away, round through the back, and come back in. Split the band and let's rise. So the band, if you've got the dressing gown band, it doesn't need to be so wide. It can be directly, your arms, your hands can be directly in front of the shoulders. "15 seconds to go." Feel that tension pinching through the upper back. 3, 2, and 1. Woo! Just rest it there. Just have a drink. Come up into the arch. If you want to, just to start with, just to shake it off. Awesome work today, guys. A few different ones, or different variations, just to get us doing something a bit different. All right, so let's just cool down. Just take a second. Recenter yourself. So we've done the work. Now we need to cool down and stretch off. It's a lot of work through the upper back. So let's come into the cat-cow position. So the tabletop position, for everyone that's done the tabletop with me before in the core sessions. So hands on the elbows, knees on the hips, and just rise, just arch through the back. So feel the upper back, the shoulder blades separate. You can wiggle, move your hips side to side, and just feel that pull down the back of the lats. Let's arch all the way down. Put the head up. And let's just roll through again. Move the head down, tuck the chin. Feel the separation through the shoulder blades. And if you're comfortable with doing so, just shift the hips side to side, just to feel that lengthen a little bit more. I'll do one more. Arch all the way down. Head comes all the way up. Drop through the shoulders. And roll back down. Make sure we push through the upper back. Separate shoulder blades. And tilt side to side. All right, gently release there. Just come to kneeling. Take the arms out wide. One arm comes across the body and goes straight across the chest. Hand goes above or below the joint. Make sure we're not up here. Shoulder is fully away from the ear, so drop that shoulder all the way down. So it's nice and neutral, which is why we start here, and we just pull it across, all the way across, and feel that lengthen through the back of the shoulder. That kind of pull through the joint a little bit. Gently release off. Have a quick shake. Other arm out nice and wide. Bring it across the body, straight across the chest. Feel that pull through the back of the shoulder and drop it down. So we're not up here, down nice and low. So feel the tension loosen through the back as we start to cool off. So that was a lot of shoulder and upper back work, which is good. I've not done that for a while. Just loosen off. Stay kneeling. Put the hands in front of the body, clasp them. Slight bend in the elbows and really pull the shoulder blades away. So we pull the shoulder blades away and then drop the head nice and gently forward. So tuck the chin to the chest. You can actively pull the shoulders forward as well. So you can see the difference that would be kind of a good posture, neutral position. Pull them away. And lowering the head makes that lengthen through the top of the back and into the neck. You can feel the difference if you look up. Keep that hold there, but if you look up, feel the difference at the top of the neck. And then go down, and you feel that pull go into the upper back as well. So loosen off nice and gently. Shake it out. Clasp the hands behind the back. Push the chest up. Hands into the lower back. If you want to, you can fully extend. Head nice and neutral, and feel that lengthen through the front of the shoulder. Comes into the chest and over into the pecs. Gently loosen up, so bend through the elbows, release. Just one final one. Keep the hips square. One hand on the bum, or the top of the hips, one hand on the knee, and just turn to that side that both hands are. Look the direction that your shoulders are, so you move the shoulders from neutral, open out, just to loosen off and lengthen through that spine. Gently release, roll through the shoulders, loosen off, hands on the opposite hip and knee, and turn in. Gently loosen off. Just a quick roll back through the shoulders. Change direction, let's go forward. All right. Nice work today, guys. Hope you enjoyed that one. I enjoyed that one. That was a good one. I hope you had a good couple of days. It's absolutely peeing down in Edinburgh now, and I've got to cycle into town, so that's going to be great. But I hope you have a good day. Friday, 7 o'clock in the evening for core and relaxation stretching. If you want any advice on anything to get, then let me know. I've got these ones, so the different resistances, different colours, and then there are the fully attached ones. And then I have these ones as well. These look a bit more complicated. They're not at all. You just strap the handle onto one end, and you can attach them to doors and things like that. So if you do want any advice on anything like that, please let me know. Everything I've got has been off Amazon. So it's super, super easy to get if you know what you're looking for. But have a good day or two, and I will see you guys soon. Bye.